So, guys, before we jump to best game of 2016, I want to take a second and say, if you want this stuff early, every week, you need to go to patreon.com/nerdcave. Go over there and throw us more than $1. $1 gets you the bonus episode. $5 gets you the audio version of this awesome podcast that you've been enjoying right now. Or you can go out and give $10 and get not only the bonus episode, the audio access, but you also get the video access. And guys, if you can't throw us $1 or $5 or $10 or more, then you can go over to youtube.com/nerdcave network and you can get the segment by segment, day by day, broken up until Fridays, where the whole entire podcast is posted on youtube.com/nerdcave network and podcast services around the world. How would y'all like that rigmarole right there?
Now, let me ask you this. Is this the only time you're going to plug it, or are you going to plug it towards the end?
We can plug it towards the end.
Okay, then I'll save my announcement for then.
And just remember, guys, it all starts with one simple dollar.
It does.
Yeah.
It'll make all of us hollow.
Trust me. Your dollar helps out.
Immensely.
I'm a grown man in need.
Yeah.
All right, guys. 2016 has been chock full of video games from January all the way to December. And last week, they even put out one of, and this is crazy, one of the games that actually has made the choices for me. So here we go. Here is the top games. And I don't understand how in the world this is even on top, to be honest.
A lot of people, I've watched a lot of gameplay from Siege. A lot of people love it.
Because technically it came out December 1st of 2015.
Did it really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
So there you go. That one doesn't win.
Overwatch.
I'm fine with Overwatch winning.
The impartial judge over here.
Hey, see, that's kind of the knowledge we need over
The
here.
partial judge.
So we have Overwatch as the top since Rainbow Six was a 2015 release. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End coming in at number 2. Gears of War 4 coming in at number 3. Pokemon Moon after that. Dark Souls 3, whatever, coming in after that. WWE 2K17. The Witcher 3, I don't count that one. I'm just saying.
DLC of the year.
That's DLC of the year. Pokemon Go. Let's go ahead and... Pokemon Go or Mario Run?
Don't have either, so I'm not going to vote.
Mario Run.
Pokemon Go. I played it way more.
Mario Run.
I don't care. So there you go. Derek, which one are you more interested in? Pokemon Go or Mario Run?
Pokemon Go.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so there you go. Pokemon Go gets the Nerd Cave
Seal of approval.
seal of approval.
Under protest.
Battlefield 1, seeing that low is surprising
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
me.
especially how much positive...
Throw me a vote on there, too. Why don't you?
I can't throw a
I
vote
know.
for you.
If I could. If I had my phone in here, I would.
Then we have Final Fantasy 15. Not going to vote for that one. Firewatch. I'll get to that in a minute. Tom Clancy's The Division. I think because some of these games came out so early, that's why they're not doing as well.
Well, that also, and to speak on The Division, the player base has dropped off so drastically since
definitely.
launch that I think it hurt it in the long run.
And
I
then
want to play it again.
Batman: The Telltale Series, which I'm going to be doing a live stream of that whole game here before I go back to work. So I'm looking forward to playing that one. And then
why didn't No Man's Sky get a vote? Come on,
I'm
people.
actually surprised that Doom and Watch Dogs did not get a vote at all.
Dishonored 2?
That's true.
Dishonored
I
2,
haven't played Watch Dogs 2 yet, so I didn't feel right voting for it.
I understand. So there are the games. Our community has voted. Overwatch wins because Rainbow Six Siege is
Last year.
I will say
last year.
someone added that. Like, I didn't put that on the poll.
I think they might have done it just because it came out so late last year that they figured why not just count it for 2016.
It don't work that way, son.
Yeah.
Had to come out January 1st.
It don't work that way.
So.
Don't work that way. All right. So this is my favorite topic of the show.
Yep.
This is my bread and butter. This is like I just come out of the womb and I'm just like,
Face, neck, and chest.
hello world. I'm the Disney Song Challenge champion.
Oh my God.
That's how
I'm
you
here
came.
to say-
I knew he was
If
going to
that's
plug
how
that at
you
some
came
point.
out of the womb, I would be I would freak out if I was a doctor. I'd be like, "What the is this?"
Would you actually be
That comes
saying
out.
that and making those same motions? Like, I'm the
Cover that
Disney
ugly
Star
thing.
champion.
I would be my size too. I'm the Disney Zone.
God help your mother.
Ow.
God bless you, Miss Teresa.
So, pop his hand. Okay, so tons of games coming out. Derek Diamond, I'm gonna let you go first.
Because I'm gonna have the shortest answer.
Mario Run.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. Now I've only played one game on that entire list. This has not been my year for gaming.
Yeah.
Next year though will be a different story. But
Oh, it will be the year of the Derek.
I will get to that in a second.
Phoenix.
I'm going to say that it's Pokemon Moon because it's the only one that I've played the entire
So
year.
you're being honest.
But I do enjoy the game a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten into the hand. I pretty much dropped out of the handheld realm, but just the fact that people have talked about it and what I've seen on it, it's pretty much, without being an official reboot, it's a reboot for the franchise. Like just getting back to basics and improving on a lot of what people loved about it and adding new things that make sense for it. So, and that's a big thing. And you remember I haven't watched it in years, but did you ever watch the Pokemon anime? Mm-hmm. You remember when they got to the Orange Islands? Like when people talked about like how like when gym battles are more like challenges than that's what it reminded me of, is the Orange Island. So it's sort of like they're kind of also bringing that nostalgia back too.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with the game, and now I haven't got past this, so this is why I guess it feels this way because I haven't played a lot, is the pandering at the very beginning. It's like, oh, let me explain everything to you here.
That's every Pokemon.
Can I
game.
battle yet? No.
This is like worse than any other ones, but I do enjoy the systems. I like how it looks good. It feels perfect.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to play a little bit more. Hopefully during the break I'll get some of that time. So I like your choice. Very good choice.
It's an honest answer.
I approve.
Or I'll say this.
You know what I say?
Nope.
Yep. All right, who wants to go next? Robbie or Derek?
Robbie, you can go.
I'll go. Some of the games that I've thoroughly enjoyed from this year: Overwatch, Gears of War 4, Pokemon Sun and I got Sun. Derek has Moon. Thoroughly enjoyed Pokemon. Battlefield, it's so low, but it's so good. Like I know me, Justice, Quentin, Eric. I mean, a lot of people have played multiplayer a lot. But a game that kind of touched me down deep. That's brought back a lot of good memories of playing with friends. Gears of War 4.
I wonder who friend that is.
Me and Zach have been doing some campaigning at night. And of course, I've played a lot of multiplayer and everything with it. But it reminds me of playing with Zach, playing with Willis, Trevor, and
Brett.
everybody, and Brett and everybody, because we had that big group where we just played Gears of War and Halo all the time. And having a new Gears of War, it's fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed the story, the new elements that they've added into it, especially the area, like when we're running through the lightning fields that I kept dying in.
Oh God! And the motorcycle.
That glitched into a tree. I don't know what,
Sure.
but I've a lot of games like I'll play, I enjoy. But like I have so much fun playing Gears of War. Like I want us to finish the campaign before we
Yeah,
go back to school.
I agree.
And I want to get back into playing more multiplayer and everything. But my second, it's my game of the year. But Overwatch, I'm happy I have Overwatch because me and Trevor, my little brother, were talking about it because him and his friend play all the time, and with us talking about it, kind of reignited it because I hardly ever played, but now I have some friends to play with, and I want to get back into it. It's super fun, as Zach can attest.
Yeah, I actually enjoy it. So there you go. Derek, since you're the guest, you'll get to go.
Okay. I'll actually give you. All right, let me give you some honorable mentions. It'll be Battlefield 1 and Overwatch.
I love you, man.
So-
I love you so much.
But I'm going to give you my three top games instead
Okay.
of just one.
Okay. I like it.
But I'll
I
give
like
you
it.
honorable
Bending
mentions
the
first.
rules to whatever
Yeah.
you need it to be.
I'm the
I
guest.
like it. That's the Zach Dykes movie if I've ever seen one.
So I'm the guest. I can make my own rules. I'm impartial, remember?
You're partial. Partial.
So-
No imp in it.
Hey boy,
But
partial to
okay,
me.
so my honorable mentions are Overwatch and Battlefield 1. And I've got stories behind each of those.
Okay.
So Overwatch, you can ask my friend Matt. Like that's the first MOBA I've
Did y'all not see the picture?
Yeah, I saw
okay.
I just now saw it.
Overwatch, like you can ask my friend Matt back in he lives in Dothan now, but he was in Troy for a moment. I hated MOBAs with a passion. Like I gave him so much flack because there for a while all he played was Smite, and I just said, "Oh, you're playing on your Smite
Sounds
machine."
like a good friend for me.
I was like, "Oh, you're just playing on your Smite machine. That's all it is now." But I saw him play Overwatch and just like the hype surrounding it, and I was like, "Let me buy it." And I bought it. Actually, the first full retail game that I bought digitally, and I haven't regretted it. Like I've actually loved the mechanics. I mean, it doesn't have many modes. Like they've added like one or two since then, but it didn't have many modes. But just the simplicity of the gameplay and just the different intricacies of the characters, I really love. And with Battlefield 1, I just love how much they care about the old school, like just how much historically accurate they made it. And there's a funny story. Like I haven't gotten deep into the single player, but just like the nitty gritty and the trench warfare of the game is fantastic. And also there's a funny story. I never played the beta before the game came out. So the first multiplayer match, I didn't know what to expect. And there's, you've played it, but Zach, have you seen any gameplay or have you played Battlefield 1?
Played it this morning at 10 o'clock.
So
I mean,
you
11
know the
o'clock.
thing with the snipers? They pretty much give it away with a little glint.
Yeah.
I didn't know that going in. So I'm playing the first multiplayer match like the week it comes out, and I'm running across like it's the hilltop map, and I'm running across it, and I see this glint of light off in the distance. I'm like, oh, what is this? And I'm like, oh, that's what it is.
It
So-
is your doom. Come to
just-
the light.
just the little details they've added in to make it, a careable game and just like a historically accurate game is great. Now, my top three.
Top three.
Number
Not a
three.
five.
We don't do top one here like we're supposed to.
Yeah, I know. Division. I actually liked it a lot because that's my number three.
Yeah, we used to play.
And I ironically all three of these games
Hey,
like
you got it on Xbox, didn't you?
Yes.
You jerk.
You want to play
hole.
some? Well, I'm about to download it again.
Actually, all three games I'm going to do are on Xbox. So my top three. So one Division, because I haven't finished Uncharted 4, so that's my thing. But all right, so
Nick,
Division-
you're right. He is a traitor. If your number one's not what I'm going to say, then we got a problem here. We got a
Well, we
serious
might
problem.
have an issue, but let me get to that. So, all right, so Division, just because it was another MMO, and when Destiny came out, it was a very big disappointment, at least for me.
Yeah, just like you.
It's okay.
Let me mute him real quick. But I love the cover-based mechanics. I love the RPG. I mean, the grinding isn't as bad unless you get into the Dark Zone, which is my least favorite part of the game. But it was a better version of Destiny for an MMO. But to be honest, if the more you play it and the more you notice, like the only time you see other players, like Destiny, no matter what you do, you see other players in your world. Division, until you get into like safe zones, you don't see other players. So it's pretty much more along the lines of an open world game with MMO aspects to it. My number two, and this is not a game on the list, ironically, and I was super hyped from this game the moment they announced it at the Xbox reveal. That's Quantum Break. It was a very underrated
Totally.
game.
Yep.
It came out in April.
Yep.
Very great story by Remedy, who, if you don't know who
Good
that is,
acting.
I mean, I know you guys do, but for the listeners, is like those are the people who did Alan Wake. Very
One of my
great
favorite
story.
games of last gen.
The powers were actually very thought out, and that you get more over the course of the game, but they're not just retreads of like, hey, here's a dash one, and here's a dash, and then you get a dash ability that makes you dash farther or jump farther.
Triple dash.
Yeah, it doesn't do that. It just gives you
Rapidash.
oh my gosh. It just gives it to you, and like the story is very deep, intriguing because it all revolves around time and controlling time. And you know, when they announced they were going to do a TV show in compatible with it, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, why are you going to incorporate a TV show? That's sort of a step back for me. But you know, when you watch it, because you can skip it, because there's 5 acts and they do 4 episodes, and they're each after an act ends. And you do have a little bit. It's you play as play as the hero, and then you have a choice at the end of each act as the villain, which goes into the episodes, and that you see the ramifications of that. The acting is very good because you know it has Littlefinger as the main villain, and then the guy who played Sean Ashmore, the guy who played Iceman in the early X-Men movies.
Also, it has the guy that was a Hobbit.
Yeah, Mary or no
Pippin or Mary is one of
It
them.
was Mary, I think, but the acting was superb, and the episodes actually made it like you actually got to saw it as the villain, and without spoiling things, you really look at it. You really look at the villain differently because of how things play out, and it's not a long story, but it's worth several playthroughs just because of the different ramifications you can choose, and it actually makes this more sympathetic to the villain. So that, and it, like I said, they revealed it at the Xbox event in 2013. It came out April, and I've never been more excited for an exclusive or like an original IP like I have with that game, and I absolutely loved it to death. My number one. And I thought
Jesus,
about
Mark, we just got to number 1. I thought that was number 1.
it. Well, number 1, Gears of War 4. I had to go back to the well on that because there was never been an Xbox exclusive. I have. Boom, boom. I know you're looking for a blunt object to throw in my head.
Oh, I will later tonight.
And
when you're
here's why.
asleep.
So Gears 4. I haven't played much of multiplayer. I'll be honest with you, but I've beaten the story. Loved every minute of it. It was getting back into one of my favorite my favorite Xbox exclusive. There for
Yes,
a while it
yes.
was Halo, but then
Nope.
when Gears came out, it
Yes.
completely changed my game. And I'm just like, what is Halo? Pretty much. Like I still play Halo. Halo 5 was atrocious.
Yes,
So-
there answers your question earlier, Quentin. Is Halo 5 going down or Halo going down? It is.
Yes, Halo
Gears-
5 to me is Halo
Gears
was
is the
like
best.
the weakest in the entire series.
Yeah.
But Gears has just been phenomenal. I mean, outside of Judgment, but we don't acknowledge that redheaded stepchild.
Judgment wasn't that bad. Everybody craps on Judgment. It was but it wasn't bad.
How about this? It was the setup of the game. Like the pacing was so like one level you just pretty much sit there and camped and do den defense, whereas other levels like all right, point A to point B. There wasn't continuity with it. It was very much like wishy washy.
Yeah, like Judgment was okay. It wasn't the best. I still think that because I haven't finished 4, 3 is still one of my favorites.
Yeah. So,
Because of the General ROM.
Oh,
that
yeah.
DLC. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do to Derek tonight. I'm gonna turn into General ROM.
so
Treat you like Kim.
Anyway, so I loved it. I love getting back in that world. It was a completely fresh take, and it wasn't as dark and gritty like this one starting out in the trilogy as the first one. How far have you gotten to the 4th one? Where are you?
To the red.
We're Act
red
3
tendrils.
right after Marcus.
Okay, so you know. Okay, so
Well, he gets
I mean,
he's a whoop
yeah.
into the weird thingy.
I mean, I've beaten it, so I know it. So seeing him back was great. I mean, we both geeked out over his appearance at E3. Like we both, like Joe
Yeah.
DiMaggio, like, you know, it was great.
You're in
and
trouble again.
I know,
It's cool. You can leave me out.
Baird, but you know,
You left him out because he was in the room with us.
I was
Oh.
geeking out too, but it's cool. It's cool.
I mean,
carry on.
sorry.
Carry on. Carry.
Sorry.
I was
My
on your
wayward
side,
son.
but you know what?
look.
Good.
Anyway, so but just getting back into that world and just dealing with that a new threat and like a new series of enemies is great. The biggest thing, you know, I had to pace myself because it was very like slow moving to me in the beginning, and I was like, I had to remind myself this is a new trilogy, so I have
Yeah.
to meet it with expectations. And the twist, trust me, when you see the twist at the end, you will go bat crap crazy for it, and it blew my mind for the possibilities for 5. So
Yeah. Gears of War. Great game. Yeah. Really cool.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Let me get my bib on.
So you had your top 3. I'm gonna have my top 5.
Oh, I could have gone top 5, but I chose not to.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do top 5 because suck it.
And then me and Derek are going to come in and do ours. Tell us what other game you played. Oh, what?
Wow.
Zelda: Link to the Past is my game of the year.
It's not really going to be a top 5. It's going to be top like the 5 games that kind of stick out in my mind of what I've played over the year, because I played a lot of games because of the whole YouTube thing and everything. Firewatch. This game I was so stoked for when I got it. I really, really was looking forward to it. I played it. Great art style. Oh my God, it is gorgeous. The story, I cared about the characters. Henry and Delilah, just fantastic. I think it's a game that people should play, but don't go in expecting things to be neatly tied up at the very end. That's the only problem with this game is you get to the end and it's kind of like "Pee!" That's the sound in my mind.
Oh, that's what it makes.
That's what it makes. But the overall story, the suspense, the just like overall dread that you have in this game is great. It's like, I cannot explain how the game feels. You just have to play it. So Firewatch is one of them. And one that came up just in the last week. Walking Dead Season 3, A New Frontier from Telltale's Games.
I actually still need to go through season 2.
Yeah, you do. It takes place. You're a new character. You get to see Clementine. Everything's going great. And then that last 5 minutes of the first episode just blew my mind. And if you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. Episode 2, it's just good. It is back to form. Walking Dead is back. Telltale is the only one that I trust with that franchise because everybody else has crapped on it. And that's the only Walking Dead that I care about. I don't care about the show.
Fun fact, you haven't heard anything from it since, but I think it was like VGAs or some kind of, it wasn't an E3 thing. It was a smaller event from a few years ago. Overkill is supposed to be doing a Walking Dead game, but you haven't heard, so I don't know if it's canceled or not.
Yeah, it says to be announced 2017. So that would be my other one. Gears of War 4 is one of mine. Honorable mentions or whatever you want to call it. Top 5, whatever. Really enjoying it, like playing it with Robbie. Love getting back in that universe. I hate fighting the robots. The robots are my least favorite part.
That did drudge on way more than it should.
My least favorite part of the game. I'm ready to get back to the Locust type characters. I think they're the more interesting villains. But I understand they wanted to get you into finding something that was different. You fought the Locust type characters for 3 games, so they're trying to break it up. Understand that. I wish they would put out a book that would kind of explain what was going on in the world. I'm hoping Karen Travis is working on one, so here's my fingers crossed on that. My next one.
Oh, I just wanted to touch. I forgot something you said that you reminded me of for Gears. The banter between the team is a very different, and I think it's for the better this time. Just like because it's in the previous ones they were all gelled, they all knew each other, sort of thing. This one, it's like other than JD and Marcus, you don't know. He doesn't have a rapport with the other two. So just hearing the banter and pretty much making Marcus sound like an old man is like, oh, my tomatoes, him hearing about like little stuff that's going on in his house was great to hear. So I think the banter was a refresh.
Oh, yeah, I agree 100%. My runner-up, and this is a game that I've played a ton of. I love playing it. Me and Amy sit down when we're not doing anything, and y'all all have played this game, is Overcooked.
It's fun.
This game is so much fun. It is just a way to relieve stress, but it's more stressful than it is. But I've spent a ton of time playing this game with my fiance or my girlfriend, whatever you want to say. When you say fiance, people are like, oh, she's so posh.
You stuck-up snob
over here. but it's so fun and it's cute and it's built off of this Unity engine, which anybody can play or build stuff off of. But it's so fun. It is so fun. But you have to communicate and you have to be in tandem with your player.
Definitely not a one-player game.
No, it's not. So, really, really enjoy Overcooked. If you want to play it, it's $20. I think it's on both systems.
It's both systems.
Check it out. Play it. It is way worth the price of admission.
For what it is, like a lot of people, when they see those games that are like 2-bit or anything like that, they kind of like, how can that be fun?
Yeah.
But it is so much fun.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. And what was really cool, they put out a Christmas pack where you get like Christmas levels, you're making Christmas food and everything. You even get flamethrowers to like cook turkeys.
No.
It's really cool. And then my number one.
If you ask me though, in my personal opinion, I think Overcooked is a little undercooked. I'm kidding.
My number one.
The jokes.
My number one, which should be everybody's number one if you have a soul. And
Or if I have any taste.
you have any taste, or if you enjoy a good PlayStation game.
Uncharted.
Uncharted 4 is the greatest game.
If I finished it, it would have. But I haven't finished it, so I need to beat it from beginning to end before I have an opinion.
That is not a Robbie joke. Don't put that evil on me.
Uncharted 4 was such a great way to wrap up this whole saga. Getting to play the collection, which the collection came out this year, or was it last year?
No, it came out last year.
Okay, got to come out last year. I finished it this year, all 3 games. Enjoyed the mess out of them, but this 4th one, getting to meet Sam, getting to hear Nolan North and Troy Baker, be brothers in this, just absolutely amazing. The voice acting was great. The story, him finding the treasure, going after this treasure and everything, and finding this pirate, land of the lost, pretty much. Absolutely amazing. Controls no better. Like everybody loves Tomb Raider. Uncharted is the way to go. I'm sorry. Uncharted is the end all be all of adventure games right now. So Uncharted is my number one, and if you haven't played it and you have a PlayStation 4, please do so. So there is my number one.
Good night.
Yeah. There you go. Whoa!
I will say, you know how these memes go around, like they'll have like the Kardashian sisters or something's like, name a more iconic team or more iconic duo. If you put up voice acting, name a more iconic duo. Nolan North and Troy Baker. So
Yep. So there you have it, guys.
2016.
There. Yep, 2016 in the books.
Woo!
Quickly, we'll go most anticipated game of 2017.
That I know that's coming out. Again, it sort of goes back to Quantum Break. Like the moment I saw it, I was immediately hyped. Horizon Zero Dawn for me, and that's right around the corner.
Yeah. February.
That's a good one. But
that being said, though, if I knew God of War was coming out this year, I would say God of War over everything. But it's not coming out this year.
Go ahead, because he knows what's coming. Andromeda.
Mm-hmm.
I am. Oh my god! I feel like every day goes by, I geek out just a little bit
closer
more.
to
I'm like, ooh.
And that's also supposed to be right around the corner with spring.
I don't think I've ever been like this, like geeking out for a game, more anticipating a game coming out than I am for Andromeda, because I want to be immersed back into that world. Because I'm playing through the first one right now. It's very clunky because, of course, it's a 360 game. But I'm excited to be able to play through, 1, 2, and 3 to kind of tie everything together for which, you're going to be you're not going to be Shepard anymore. You're this new team.
Yeah.
But that's my most anticipated game coming out is Andromeda, and I cannot flip and wait for it.
I have to do it. Knack 2 is also my... I'm kidding.
You only get one, Derek. All right, Derek. I know what yours is, but go ahead.
Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Too bad that doesn't come out till 2018. They just pushed it back.
Shut up, Robbie.
Mine, again, Mass Effect Andromeda. Cannot wait for that game. There's a lot of other ones, but that's like number one on my list. But thankfully, Horizon Zero Dawn comes out before that, so I'll have it out of the way. And I see some people putting Last of Us 2 in this list. Last of Us 2 won't be coming out
If
till
it comes
at
up
least 2019.
About to say, if it comes out before 2019, I'll be surprised.
yeah. So, all right, guys.
What about most anticipated movie?
Ooh.
Justice League.
Besides Episode 8.
Justice League's coming out this coming year, right?
Yeah.
Justice League.
See, it's a toss-up between... Because I'm actually pretty stoked because the more I read on it, the more I'm excited between either... I would give the slight edge to Logan, but it's a toss-up right now between Logan and Thor Ragnarok.
I'm a Thor guy, and like Thor is like 3 or 4 on my list of most anticipated movies coming out because, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm excited
Yep.
about that.
Oh, yeah,
That's true,
Bond
too.
I'm
too.
excited. I'm super stoked for Justice League. I want that to be so flipping good. I just had a third one and I forgot it.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers, and then of course Logan, and then Thor is
Lego Batman.
Lego Batman. Yeah, sure.
I actually think Lego Batman's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good movies coming out. Some that we've been waiting for, like Power Rangers. What's
I
up?
got that one that's coming out this year.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That was yours.
Oh.
Spider-Man.
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 It's really
It's a spider.
it's really close between Spider-Man and Logan. I want Logan to be really good because it's Hugh Jackman's last time as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Last ride.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's gonna be.
Oh, my God.
It's gonna be so sad when he leaves.
Yeah.
When that movie comes out, he will have been Wolverine for 17 years.
Jeez.
That's
Good
crazy.
That's a
Lord.
long time.
Yeah.
And
Long time.
I hope whoever they get to fill his shoes fills it. I mean, I'd be okay with Hardy, but
That's who Hugh Jackman wants.
yeah, I
too
just
long.
hope they're good.
Yeah. TV shows, Game of Thrones, Arrow, Flash.
Oh, yeah.
All
the,
the
the
usuals.
usuals, yeah.
Yeah,
Stranger Season 2.
Strangers.
Iron Fist, I think, could be pretty good.
Oh, yeah, with my bro, Finn Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go, guys. Episode 190 is in the bag.
2016 is thankfully almost in the bag.
Yes.
Yep.
Only a few more days.
Guys, make sure, if you want to get this stuff early, go over to patreon.com/nerdcave and go support us for $1 simple dollar.
Want to hit that question up real quick?
Robert Downey Jr. or Hugh Jackman?
Robert
better
Downey
character?
Jr.
Oh, my God. Don't make me choose.
That is
Um,
hard.
Robert Downey Jr.
So hard.
Hey, Blue Flame.
If you're going off pure adrenaline and action standpoint, Hugh Jackman. But if you're going off of just like a deep character, I would have to go Robert Downey Jr.
Like I'll get this out of the way. They both nail their characters. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
to a
I bet they
T.
do.
Shut up, Zach. But I'd have to go with Robert Downey Jr. on this one. Like I feel like I said, both of them do it perfectly. Derek's hurting my leg, but I love both of them. It's so hard.
Things Robbie
so hard
hears
to
on a
pick,
first date.
But Robert Downey Jr.
I'm a Hugh Jackman fanboy, but I say Robert Downey Jr.
Ah! All right. So, guys, there you have it. Episode 190 is in the bag. If you want this early, you can go over to patreon.com/nerdcave. Go support us. You can get our bonus episode for $1. You can get our awesome early access to audio for $5, or you can get for $10 our video access, and so on. So there you go, guys.
And I have an announcement to make since we made it. So I don't know if he's told either of you guys. He kind of spoiled my little Christmas surprise for you guys, but I will be the newest Patreon subscriber for you guys.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you, Derek.
You are very welcome.
You're a beautiful man.
You know where Derek went to become a Patreon subscriber? Patreon.com/nerdcave. But thank you, Derek, very, very much for helping make the dream
Come true.
A reality.
Come true.
Yeah.
And
You guys deserve it.
thank you. And guys, thank you for all the ones that stuck around and watched either a minute or the whole day. We appreciate it. Shout out to Quentin. You've been really, really active in the chat, and we appreciate that, and gave us some good topics to talk over the show. And guys, keep coming back every week. every week. If you get it early, you get it early on Mondays. If you don't, then you can check out our YouTube channel, which we might be watching one of them right now, youtube.com/Nerd Network, and get every segment broken up topic by topic, day by day, until Friday, where we put the whole episode out on all the podcast services around the world and youtube.com.
Be sure while you're on our YouTube channels to go ahead and subscribe. We have the Nerd Cave and Nerd Cave Gaming. But also when you're listening to a podcast, whether it be fantasy football, Battle of the Brands, this podcast, leave us a review. It doesn't have to be a Derek Daniel thesis statement. It could just be, hey.
But we won't complain.
Yeah, the more detail, obviously,
I ask
the
very
better.
thought-provoking questions.
But just, hey, love these guys. They're funny. If it's bad, let us know if it's bad. We'd hope it's not bad. But, every review helps us, not only with ranking, but it also helps us get out there. So if you could go to iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever you're using and leave us a review, we would greatly appreciate it.
And you can also check out all those podcasts every week. Every Monday, we have Nerd Cave Retro, where myself and Jason Robbins break down retro gaming. Like 1 week, he'll review an NES game. Next week, I'll review an SNES game, so on and so forth. SNES. My show, The Derek Diamond Experience, will be moving to Tuesdays starting next week. And my first guest of 2017 will actually be a voice actor named Carlos Alizachary, who you may know as the voice of Rocco from Rocco's Modern
That's
Life.
awesome.
Wow.
He was also in Reno 911. He was in Fairly Odd Parents.
Hey, that's
lot of other roles. A really nice guy is going to be at Pensacon. Can't wait to meet him in person.
Landers? Sorry.
Wednesdays,
I don't have a booger, Quentin.
myself and this guy talk fantasy football on Fantasy Football for Nerds. Thursday, we have Battle of the Brands, our wrestling podcast with myself and fellow Nerd Cave members Nick Caputo and Adam Gumbert, which has become one of my favorite things to do. Because this has kind of been our brainchild, really more Nick's than mine or Adam's since really July or August.
Yeah.
And doing that has been a lot of fun. We'll actually be doing this week our year-end awards of wrestling. So we'll be doing like Wrestler of the Year, Female Wrestler of the Year, Match of the Year. So be sure and check that out on Thursdays. Friday, as we said, the show is the Nerd Cave Podcast. And on Saturdays, we have our friends over at the Pop Culture Palette.
Get your PCP fix.
Yeah!
Guys, I'm leaving you with this lovely image of Derek
Playing his
playing
NES.
the NES while they were
I think
playing.
that's very fitting to end 2016.
It is. This is what we're ending on, guys. Thank you once again for being awesome. We could not do any of this without the awesome support that we have from our fans, viewers, friends, and all of that. Lovers.
Something like that.
And friends.
Yes. Derek, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me again, guys.
Always a pleasure.
Derek, thanks for coming. Which Derek? I'm confused.
Right.
And guys, make sure you keep coming back every week. This has been Zach.
Derek?
Robbie.
And Derek.
Have a week.